Hi friends, this is Suzy, your Candy Crush guru. It is August 21st, 2025. I'm here for my Wordle and Quordle of the day, and I would say for a trip into my garden, but this is actually for a trip into my home after I've taken a trip into my garden. This is one of my very first harvests I had. It was the day that 2 cantaloupe came beautifully off the vine. You can always tell when a cantaloupe is ripe because they call it full slip, where you just test it to see if it's going to come off the vine, and it does beautifully. Just snips right off the vine. And I have to tell you, these cantaloupe were so delicious. And there's someone in the family who loves cantaloupe maybe as much as I do, and that is Sasu, my little black and white cow cat. He thinks cantaloupe is delicious. Does not like watermelon. Firepaw doesn't like either of them, but Sasu, he gets so excited when I cut open a cantaloupe. And then I have a beefsteak tomato, very small for my beefsteak tomato. It's the smallest one that came off. That it was the first one that fruited. And I took it off. I take it off at breaker stage when it's about 50% red, before it has a chance to ripen fully, because by then the flavor is set and it just needs to color up. And the problem is, if it's full color on the vine, it's much more likely to be eaten by pests. They're attracted to that red. So I had plucked that and then stuck it actually in a paper bag. And then these are my purple Cherokee tomatoes. They've got these green shoulders and this really smoky, meaty flesh. So delicious. And then my garlic, which I had actually harvested well before I harvested these guys, but of course it has to cure, and I hadn't had a picture of it, so I thought I would put it in with my entire harvest. Love, love, love planting and growing garlic. Oh, I had so much fun with it. That was like the first thing I planted. It was so experimental, but look at that. I got small, but I got bulbs of garlic, and I learned so much about garlic. Like, I can't plant it in ground anymore because it just gets overwhelmed by weeds. And then when I want to dry it out to, 2 weeks beforehand to start curing it so I can pull it, I can't because it's the South and so it's always raining. So in a garden bed, I'll be able to better protect it and slope the water away from it. Anyway, so exciting. So I'm going to use the word yield as my inspiration word for the day. A little bit of a strange construction here. Let's see if we get anything. We did. Not well placed, but again, I knew I was kind of putting these in weird spots. So I have an E and an L. Those are the common letters. Not too surprised to get those. We could also try R, S, T, N. So really all of the common letters. And then other vowels, A, O, U. We've already tried Y. So I can't do stern because it would reuse the E. What if I do later? What if I try later? Because, you pick the tomatoes and then you have to eat them later. Well, we picked up a T and placed it. And we excluded the L and the E from a few more spots. Well, I guess the E. Huh. No, that works. It's excluded from 2 spots now. We did pick up another spot. Okay, so now L has to be here or here, and that's it. E has to be here, here, or here. Yeah, the E we just didn't exclude as much because it doubled up in that T category. Okay. So this is interesting because the L and the E were both excluded from here. I feel like I need to know what other vowels are in here. I feel like this should be T-L-E and it can't be an L. That's what I feel like. What is this? If I do an E here and an L here, what could be here? An A or an O? If I do, metal, it could be metal. Should I try metal? I think I should try metal. The only thing I'm going to be repeating is that T. And I've been doing really well with the third try, which means now that I'm hyping it, it won't happen. But let's just double check this. I haven't used the M, haven't tried the E here. We know the T goes there. Haven't tried the A, right? No, I tried the A. Okay, well that's not going to work. Good thing I checked. So the A doesn't work. I just forgot to remove it from this spot. Okay, so what if we do an O here? What happens if we do an O here? Is this anything? No, I want metal back. And if we do a U? Oh, I'm so disappointed. But I would be more disappointed if I had tried metal, not realizing my mistake. Hold on a minute, because something has to go here, but the L doesn't. So maybe that's what's throwing me off. Maybe L goes here. Alt. 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 Oh, Alt. I like that, but then what do I do with this? Nothing. Alti. Alt. No, that doesn't work. Where the heck are these stinking things supposed to go? Alright, I can't look at that anymore because I'm used to having something pop into place. Like, oh, now I know what it's supposed to be. It's not popping, is it? Just not popping for me today. If I do an E here, I just have to explore. An E here. Elton. It's Elton. I don't think it is. Alright, I'm going to do something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something, and it's not going to be this. I'm going to just kind of think of where I could put things. I'm going to do something with an E at the end. I think I'll skip the L for now, and I'll just see what else I can come up with. Like S N O Snope. Snope's not gonna work. Smoke. Sloke. Nope. That would have worked. I mean, that would have been cool. Slope. Oh, let me try slope. Let's try slope. We are trying the L, we are trying the E. That really has to help us narrow things down. Do we think the L goes there and the E goes there? No, but I don't know where they go, so let's just try this. Ah, we picked up an O. Alright, so L does not go here. Guess what? It has to go here. So now we've got that placed, right? E does not go here. O, well, it can go anywhere there's not a letter. O can go here, here, or here, right? My guess is here. Extol. Doesn't that have an E at the end? Extol. I think I might have to try this. E could go here, X, T, O could go here, L has to go here. Oh, that's a word. It does not need an E at the end, just in case you're wondering. Just in case you're not smart like I am and you know how to spell words. Just so you know, extol does not have an E at the end. Boom. All right. That one was hard fought. Especially because I almost put in metal. I would have been so angry with myself. You've seen me get angry with myself before. You know what it would have been like. Alright, so now let's move over to Quordle. I'm going to put in 4 standard words. Gives me 20 unique letters. I'm going to put in fishy, budge, clown, tramp. I don't want to start with any of these. Acute. A-C-U-T-E. I like it. Let's hope. Yes. Oh my goodness, look what it gave me. White. W-H-I-T-E. White. This has given me a lot of exclusions. So, sweet. S-U-E-T-E? Wait. No, it's supposed to be an I. That ain't right. Oh, wait. Look at that. It didn't turn red. That is a word. Suete. What is that? Well, it can't be it because there can't be an E at the end. But that's interesting. Okay. There could be a Q. Q-U quest. That's what it is. Quest. Whenever there's a U in the second spot, you always got to consider a Q. So Q-U, E could go here, S could go here, T could go here. Fingers crossed. Quest. We've excluded the S from here and from here. So spark. S-P-A-R-K. S could go here, P could go here, A, R could go here, and look at that. We haven't tried the K yet, right? No K? Oh, that was a tough one. Had a couple of those uncommon letters that didn't show up, so not a lot of green and yellow. Got it done anyway. Determination. And a little bit of luck. That is it for me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.